it went too far a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever it was. Y'all don't see what the fuck y'all are doing again? Like, how are we making the same fucking mistake again?
Right.
Like, how? How is media making the same mistake? You know what I'm saying? By fueling this shit. How are the rappers making the same mistake by replying to this kid? Like, why is he making the same mistakes by coming out still on some like rah-rah shit? Like, why, bro? Like, why? Why? It's sad, man. It really is sad. I'm not gonna lie.
As far
it's
as
very sad.
As far as media goes, and as far as like us leaning into it, I don't think our behavior is any different than it has been for past rap beefs. Right? Some rappers beef. We start getting in the comments. We go, oh, Drake killed this guy, or Meek got bodied, or Pusha T killed Drake. Like, we go in, we lean in, and Drake goes out in interviews, and he's like, yo, it's going to be some violence if anything if we see that guy, and probably because we're leaning in and saying what a big deal it is. So I don't know if our energy is really any different. Like, I think we're looking at a lot of times rappers like they're wrestlers, when in reality, it ain't wrestling a lot of times. It's real.
It's never been wrestling. And Pac and Big should have showed you that.
Right.
When Pac was, telling people like, look, it's the media. Y'all the ones fueling this shit. Y'all the ones give us the platform for this shit. Y'all the ones gas this shit up. Like he was right. And don't get me wrong. It's not the media's fault, because the media is not making any of those brothers do anything. Those brothers are doing what they're doing, and the media is reacting to it. But it comes a point in time where somebody has to have some social responsibility and say, you know what? I don't want to be responsible. You know what I mean? I don't want to be responsible for that energy. I'm not going to give that energy a platform. I'm not going to put any fuel on that fire. I'm just not doing it. So if I am having this conversation right now, I would just have this conversation saying that I recognize the role all of us play in this shit. And sometimes you got to save people from themselves. Clearly, he don't know no better.
Yeah.
But I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. No. It does make sense. Yeah. I guess you make an interesting point about the media that I never really thought about, like, and the responsibility the media plays, because, and you hear about this all the time in politics, right? You hear about the responsibility of the media in politics, and the media misleading people on both sides of the aisle, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's gonna get the attention because, but yeah, he clearly has people.
I guess what I'm saying is, like, at what point in time do we start putting responsibility on the media for other things, for like sports, for entertainment? Like, so far it's just politics where the media gets smoked, but maybe we should lean into the media when it comes to politics, or when it comes to entertaining rap beefs that someone ends up getting killed. Like, you don't think there are magazines writing articles about Pac and Big? You don't think there are radio stations talking about Pac and Big? So they're feeding that fire too, and they know exactly where it ends up.
Of course they did, and that's why when you had people like C. Dolores Tucker and whoever else was speaking out against gangster rap at the time, they were right. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
They were saying that, it's going to lead to a culture of misogynistic behavior. It's going to lead to a culture of violence. You know what I mean? It's a bad influence. Yeah, they were right.
But she never been in the club when that Yin Yang Twins comes on, bro.
And that's a fact.
She never been in the club.
And that's a fact. And that's a fact.
You know.
You don't understand. And you want to hear you. So see, Dolores Tucker, you ain't out here in the streets. You don't know what goes down when these records drop. You don't know what these records mean to us on a cultural level.
That's
but I get it. But as I'm older, I totally understand where she was coming from.
Oh, so you're changing your ways.
I'm not changing my ways. Oh yeah, I have changed my ways. I'm evolved. Of course, we all evolve. All I'm simply saying is, when shit gets real, know that it's gotten real. That's it. It's all entertainment until it's not entertainment no more.
Yeah.
That's it. It's really just that simple. It's all entertainment until it's not entertainment no more. It has not been entertainment with that young man since he got shot at back in the day. It hasn't been entertainment since he got kidnapped. It hasn't been entertainment since the motherfucking feds came and picked up his whole operation. It hasn't been entertainment since he sat on that stand and told on every motherfucking body. To us, that shit is entertainment because we on the outside looking in. That shit really does look like a movie playing out.
Yes.
And not to them motherfuckers that's locked up in jail. Not to him when he didn't know whether he was going to live or die when he got kidnapped. You understand what I'm saying?
Yo, I have a question for you. Do you think because reality shows have gotten so dramatic and so real, right? You're literally seeing abortions happen on a reality show, fights. maybe I don't think death has happened just yet, but like it's getting close. It's getting real, if you will. Do you think because we see this in reality shows all the time, we're kind of desensitized to a trial like this? Like this becomes just another reality show in our life?
Yeah, I think reality shows started it, and I think social media elevated it to another level. Just because we see so much on social media, we're desensitized to so much shit. You know what I mean? And in a situation like that, it really does feel like we watched it play out on social media. Like that wasn't a TV play, that wasn't a podcast play, that wasn't a YouTube web show. That was some shit that we watched that young man show us the days of his lives every day for like a whole year. We knew the whole crew. We knew what he was doing, what he was about. Everybody was intrigued. The funny part is so many people called it and knew exactly where that behavior was going to lead. It led to what we thought it was going to lead to, which was jail. A lot of people said death as well. But it's not too late for that, especially when you don't learn your lesson.
Yeah.
Especially when you don't learn the error in your ways. And that's the part I wish somebody would get across to him. It's like, bro, you're I don't know if blessed is the right word, but you are. Like you skated out of a situation that could have been really, really, really bad for you. You took a lot of people down in the process, but you skated out of a situation that's really bad for you. Now you got a target on you. You got a target on your children. You got a target on your mom, your whole family, and for what? Like, why come? You already had a target on them.
Right.
Why come home and set yourself on fire?
Right.
That's literally what you did. You shot a flare in the sky, put a goddamn bat signal up.
Yeah.
And you motherfucking set yourself on fire and say, hey, look at me. For what?
For what?
Like, for what? Like, I don't know, bro. I'm just glad I didn't grow up in that era where all that shit means so much to me. The IG viewership,
right?
The number of fucking followers you got. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I'm old school. What that bag look like?
Yeah.
And all bags ain't good bags. What are you doing to get the bag? It's just not the fact you making money. What are you doing to make that money? That's the shit that intrigues me.
Right.
At 41 years old, like I want to see some innovative shit. I want to see some shit I ain't seen before. I've seen this before, and guess what? Guess what, my brother? It ain't worth it. It's not. That shit ain't worth it.
Do you think that you have more perspective on this because in your younger years you were a shit stirrer? Maybe not to the levels of 6ix9ine, but you were not afraid of confrontation and saying things that would like get you into potential physical altercations on your platform.
I'm still not.
And still not, but you probably don't do it as much. You're probably not as antagonistic now. Like, I feel like you've kind of evolved in the way that you interview. Whereas
I've never wanted to be antagonistic. That was never my thing. Like, if you even listen to me back in the day, I would always say that I admire somebody like Angie Martinez because Angie Martinez is able to make people comfortable in interviews.
Right.
That's a skill that I don't have. And the reason I didn't have that skill is because, early on, if I'm just being me, having these conversations and, just as my father always said, the fastest way between 2 points is a straight line, just getting right to it.
Yep.
And people are taking like, oh, did you just ask me that? Like they're taken aback by that. It's like now people are on guard when they come in.
Yeah.
So it's not my fault you're on guard and you're defensive. I don't think it's my fault. Maybe it is. I haven't really given it that much thought. But I've never wanted to be antagonistic. So I think over the years, people have just said, honestly, Charlamagne he's just curious. He just asked what's already